Good evening and welcome to Current Issues. I'm your host, Hesham Tillawi. Tonight, ladies and gentlemen, we have a special night for you. We will be speaking shortly with the Honorable John Hostettler, sixth-term Congressman from the state of Indiana. He's a Republican, and he was there in 2001, 2002, 2003. He was there for 12 years. And he was there when the decision to attack Iraq was taken. Now, he did not vote for the war on Iraq, and he paid dearly for it. He wrote a book. The name of his book is Nothing for the Nation, Who Got What Out of Iraq. This is the first time, ladies and gentlemen, we see a congressman speaking this way. You will see. Don't miss this interview because it will be an excellent interview with the congressman. And he says it like it is, ladies and gentlemen. He names the names of those people who were in the administration that made us go to war against Iraq. This is not just anybody saying this. This is a United States congressman who's saying these things, and we will tell you what those things are very shortly. Well, ladies and gentlemen, as we told you earlier, that our guest for tonight is the Honorable John Hostettler. He is a sixth-term congressman from the state of Indiana. Wrote a book recently. The title of that book, and I encourage everyone listening to us to get you a copy of this book, because what he wrote in this book you will not see on the nightly news. The name of his book is Nothing for the Nation, Who Got What Out of Iraq. Reveals why political leaders and their subordinates sought to remove Saddam Hussein from power. It reveals why the decision was taken to remove Saddam Hussein from power. Nothing for the Nation reminds us that when it comes to relations between rival nations and rival national leaders, America's founders were wise to give us a republic and not a monarchy. The sages who secured for us the blessings of liberty should not have been surprised by the true motivation of those who sold America on the idea of ousting the butcher of Baghdad. Very interesting. The motivation, the true motivation of those who decided to go to war against Iran to remove Saddam. This is coming from a congressman, ladies and gentlemen, is extremely important, and we need to pay attention and listen to every word that the congressman is going to say. Congressman, welcome to the program. Do we have... can you hear me?
Yes.
Great.
Can you hear me, Dr. Tillawi?
Yes, sir. Welcome, and I'm glad you were able to join us. Now, let's go ahead and get started with this. A United States congressman coming out and saying that our leaders very much misled us into going to this war, and you, by the way, voted against this war. Now, tell us, why did we go to war against Iraq?
Well, Dr. Tillawi, we were, as a member of the House of Representatives in that time, I was also a member of the Armed Services Committee. And as a result of those two obligations, I was able to be in on several dozens, actually, of hearings and briefings, both in a classified setting and an open setting, to hear the intelligence that was available to the United States regarding Saddam Hussein and the threat that he posed to the United States. That intelligence that we received was essentially, to a great extent, raw intelligence that was available to members of Congress. You've probably heard a lot about faulty intelligence and members of Congress being lied to. Well, it was my experience that did not happen, and you have to understand the nature of intelligence and the nature of information that's available to members of Congress. Intelligence in its own right is not just substance. It's not just topical. It also has very much to do with the means by which you come by that intelligence. And as a result of that, members of Congress were asking and should have been asking a lot of questions regarding the intelligence. So, for example, as members of Congress heard that the United States intelligence community has received this intelligence from this source, I asked questions such as, what are our intelligence assets telling us? Where are the weapons of mass destruction? I was asking questions that would take the intelligence in a more conclusional direction, meaning you can't just take what someone tells you and even tells the intelligence community of the United States and move on that from there, especially when you're talking about issues of war. And so as I sat through briefing after briefing, hearing after hearing, I concluded that the idea that Saddam Hussein was in charge of some program of weapons of mass destruction, I came to the conclusion that that was not the case.